friends, it is a great day to be talking water and wastewater, whether it's your first time tuning in or you listen every single day. Thank you for spending your time here with us. This is the Water Online Show, powered by Water Online, the leading online destination for the water and wastewater market. I'm your host, Travis Kennedy, and we have a really big show today. And one thing I wanted to get into before we welcomed our very special guest is when I had a thought earlier this week that I was on a plane back from a conference, and what I was thinking about was the suppliers that support the marketplace. So when I think about suppliers and solutions providers in this industry, my mind typically frames these thoughts a little differently than most. I don't see them as suppliers of pumps or screens or filters, mixers, disinfection solutions, whatever. I see them more as suppliers of performance, a performance for a continuous end result. And our guest today thinks along the same linear framework that I just laid out for you. So it makes me feel like I'm right at home in my living room talking to a friend. It definitely shows in the way his company is so favorably viewed in the marketplace. Yariv, Abramovich, I want to thank you for joining us here on the Water Online Show. You are the CEO of Atlantium, and we're here today to talk about how we view solutions providers and how we define equipment and solutions currently in the marketplace. Yariv, welcome to the Water Online Show, Business of Water.
Thank you, Travis. It's a big pleasure for me.
Well, I want to sort of kick this off and get a definition from you in its most simplest terms. How would you define what is meant by the term essential equipment, seeing as how you are a global company and you supply essential equipment worldwide? I wanted to get your thoughts on how you would define that specifically.
All right. So essential equipment is an equipment with a lot of responsibility. I mean, sometimes when your equipment is malfunctioning or is not working, customers suffer from either inconvenience or unfortunately damage or something, which is it's an equipment that is in the heart of the process. No matter if you're a small company on the border of a remote country, or if you're one of those big conglomerates that provide water and water products to the world, everyone needs something that makes sure that their product goes well.
Sure.
And so we have the responsibility and liability, or not liability, it's responsibility. We have the responsibility and to take care of this and the pleasure to take care of those kind of equipments and be part of those kind of processes.
And I mean, it really is a pleasure, the way that that we serve the market in the various ways that suppliers serve the market, publishers, solutions providers, municipalities, even those on the industrial side. I have a quick question though, before I get too into the weeds about, how we classify different stakeholders within the market. I want to talk about your equipment specifically. So the Atlantium Technologies equipment. So what is your role, say, after the equipment is deployed, which in many cases is the most important part of a solution once it's deployed? How would you describe your role after that point?
I agree. I mean, as a UV provider, we don't provide UV systems. We provide performance.
I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, one of the things that we always say in the company is we don't do hit and run. This kind of term, hit and run.
I like that.
When we sell something, I mean, we sell trust. Mm-hmm. We sell something that the customer needs to trust us because he paid money, he invested in us, there are people behind those kind of decision to buy something. Mm-hmm. It's not something that you buy. Someone was making his due diligence, as an accountable for this decision, and we are partners for that. So once you deploy, or you deploy the system, then we always make sure that the equipment is sized correctly to the problem or to the challenge, and more important, after being installed and turned on, there is always a support. There is a service support, there is a spare part support. And for each customer of ours, there is a dedicated service group that always take care of him. And someone told me that sometimes when you talk to Atlantium, they say jump, we just ask how high. I was not familiar with
I
this.
love that one. Yeah, that's
Yeah, I was not familiar with this kind of. I thought it's a very funny joke, but it seems to be a common a common thing. So people know this term, but for me it was new, and definitely that's what we say. When a
oh,
customer say jump, we say how high, because in the end of the day, we're responsible for the process. We're responsible for the decision to buy an equipment. We love what we do, and that therefore, for example, we have about 7 service centers around the world, and being relatively small company, we made sure that the redundancy is high and the survival rate of a customer is very high. So no matter where he is and no matter what time zone, etc., during COVID or something like that, whatever crazy thing goes on the world, he will always get his service in time and spare parts. So this is our responsibility.
well, I think that's fantastic. I mean, I want to go a little deeper here because you did mention about all the locations where you are globally. So a customer is never going to be stuck without having somebody to talk to if they need help,
Yeah.
if they need more advice, or if they need further clarification on how to properly operate the solutions that you installed. The one thing I kind of want to go along on, if it's okay with you, is I know that there's a lot of talk out there about how the Atlantium technology systems are reliable and the sizing is professional. So could you talk about just how much reliability means to Atlantium Technologies and how that reflects in the marketplace?
I mean, when we started the company, we said, look, there is only one thing we cannot hurt: our name. Because in the end of the day, a reputation you can hardly build and easily destroy. So
Very
whenever
true.
when we offer a system, we offer something that is being done after a very precise design. We take all the characters, the characteristics into account, making sure that the equipment that we sell, it's not just selling something, again, hit and run, and say, okay, we got a PO and we're happy. We think about the next day, because in the next day, if you buy something as a customer and it doesn't work, it makes a lot of trouble, then you start cursing us, and the bad words fly faster than the good ones.
Without
So
a doubt.
so it's always making sure that the sizing is precise, the software and the hardware are durable, and if something goes wrong, which can happen, like in every industrial equipment, then we are there to put ourselves in front of the issue. We're not running away. We're not hiding from that. And I think we're fortunate enough to get the trust of big companies around the world, no matter how crazy days we are, going through, because of that kind of attitude. And I think it's something that we are very proud of.
Well, I want to stop there and talk about that specifically. So, I'm sure that because of the way you approach the market and the way you're approaching the market is not necessarily unique, but it is something that Atlantium Technologies is getting itself known for, which is commitment to the customer after the install, right? So I'm sure that there's calls that you're getting or inquiries that you're getting where the potential customer is approaching you to replace perhaps an existing UV solution system. I'm sure that happens quite a bit. And I'm curious, what do you think causes them to contact you in the first place? And then how do you typically handle that in the first beginning stages? And so, in other words, what would cause them to contact Atlantium Technologies in the first place? What do you think sort of gain their interest peak? And then after that, what are the first one or two steps that Atlantium Technologies implements after the first contact?
Okay, that's a question. We are looking for the answer for many years why they contact us. I mean, some would say it's marketing, some would say it's the pretty face of our sales guys, which I'm not sure about the second thing, but then
It could be all of it. It could be all of
yeah,
it. Yeah.
I think we were fortunate enough to gain a reputation of a solution that works for hard problems.
Mhm.
I mean, when you have a tough challenge to address,
What would one of those challenges be? Like, talk to me about. Then I want to hear the rest of your answer. And I'm very sorry for interrupting you, but
uh,
I think you're onto something here. Give me an example of a very difficult task that.
for example, when there is a rough water conditions, changing condition, water condition, or a bacterial threat or something that is very hard to deal with what we call common or regular systems or regular methods.
Right.
I mean, we have a lot of know-how during the years. We gained a lot of know-how during the years. And the technology by itself is very strong, it's very reliable, it can react on changes, et cetera, et cetera. So during the years, we have demonstrated a lot of good performance. And usually what we say, we don't sell something that we are not 100% sure it's going to work. So people, start to understand, hey, if you have a real problem, call those Atlantium guys. And I think that the second challenge is what happened after that. So if you sell a $10,000 unit for a remote place in one of those big countries around the world, and then the guy said something goes wrong, and then you say, okay, should I send a service guy for a $10,000 unit or not? And the answer is yes, you would send it. Although the CFO is always crazy that the return investment doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
But being sales and leaders in the market, you say, no, it is. The ROI is bigger than what you think because it's not in the Excel, but it's in the trust, because people then talk, and the guy that used to work in a small hatchery somewhere on the border will be the freshwater manager one day of a global world company. So for us, we take care of customers no matter if they're small and bought a relatively cheap equipment, or they're one of the big enterprises that bought $1 million of equipment. For us, we are blind for the size.
Right. Well, treating every customer the same is important, especially in the type of world we live in now, which is all about connection. So you never know where those connections are going to come back to either hurt you or, in this case, benefit you in relation to the attention that you were able to give a certain customer, regardless of how big the initial sale was. Separate and distinct of how big the site is, it's important for every customer that Atlantium Technologies has to know that you are there for them, which is something that is certainly special, especially in such a connected market. I want to go back to one of the questions that I had asked that I don't want to let you off the hook without answering, because it's important for our audience, which is what happens after somebody calls Atlantium Technologies initially? Like, what are the first 1, 2, 3 steps that Atlantium Technologies goes through to evaluate the problem, and then perhaps suggest a solution, and then start implementing what you can do for them? What do those first steps look like?
So usually what we do, we look at the problem. I mean, we're trying to understand what is the real challenge he's dealing with. Sometimes he thinks of one thing, but the challenge is bigger than he thinks. So we do an analysis. We're trying to get the most information of the question, although sometimes it sounds simple. So we take the information.
Those are nice surprises.
Yeah, we put someone dedicated to this customer, to the same customer.
Yep.
And we say, okay, we're going to take care of you. So we collect the information, we analyze it in our labs, in our application team, which is a very strong team with a lot of knowledge, and we come with the solutions. And then we say, okay, this is what we think you need to know, and you need to do. And then, the commercial thing starts. You make a discount, et cetera, et cetera. The money is the last thing that we discuss before, because in the beginning, we need to make sure he understands what is the right solution for him. If he cannot afford our systems, or he doesn't want it, there is a lot of competition outside. He can do whatever he wants. But if he wants to buy something that we sell, he needs to trust that we sell, the right solution. Then hopefully he buys, we sell this equipment, and then we take care of him as part of the accounts that are manageable or managed by the company. The company is active in more than 65 countries around the world, with dedicated sales team and service team. So this is the process, and hopefully it's going to become a return customer after he's going to be happy, or he's going to increase his factory capacity, et cetera, et cetera.
Or both. Yeah, or both.
Or both.
Right. Yeah. So with both of us being involved as stewards, trying to combat the global water crisis, I want to ask you a question that is larger in scope. So I know that your company started in a country where water scarcity is actually a pretty big problem. What do you think personally as the CEO of Atlantium Technologies, what do you think is needed right now to face the global water crisis?
All right. Usually there are two issues. One is to have an education program to save water.
Agreed.
And we had I don't know how long time we have, but he had a very funny story with a Canadian friend.
Let's hear it. You like stories.
He told me that we were visiting a very cold country, and the air was dry.
True.
And we went for dinner together. I said, look, the room is very cold, and I get shocked, like this static electricity. He said, why is that? I mean, I said, look, it's the cold. He said, I keep the shower runs with hot water for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of steam in my room. And so everything is fine. I was like, what? And we were in a country with no water issues.
Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
When I was a kid, my mother used to knock on my shower door, like if I was like taking shower more than 5 minutes. It's a matter of education.
Right.
Save water, because water is a resource that is in short.
Yeah.
The second thing is to make the industrial customer going very strongly to reuse. Reuse is the key thing for the future. It's doable technology wise. It's a little bit costly, but if you look at in terms of, I'm not talking about even global economy, but also for a plant, for an enterprise.
Yep.
You need to reduce dramatically the ratio of water usage to the end product. And I think companies that will do that, they will save money, will contribute dramatically to water positivity, whatever it is. And people will save money, because I think the industry will be, let's say, under a lot of pressure from governments to stop using groundwater and surface water. And they say, guys, you're making money of it, just reuse it.
Agree. Couldn't agree more. I mean, that's a great thoughts around the global water crisis, which we're all fighting hard to address. And I certainly appreciate, as I know that the industry does, what Atlantium Technologies is doing on that front. So Yariv, how would somebody follow up with Atlantium Technologies, get more information on what it is you do, what you specialize in, and how you serve the market? What's the best way for them to get more information and contact you?
All right. So the easiest way is to go to our website. It's atlantium.com. We're very active in the social media, so you can find us there. And of course, Water Online, you can go there and find a lot of information about us. I hope that's a good way to do that. Those are good ways.
Fantastic. Yep. I'm sure that I appreciate you giving a shout out to Water Online, as well as letting them know that if they go to atlantiumtechnologies.com, that they'll be able to access and contact you directly and access the information they're looking for. So, Yariv, I'd like to thank you for coming on board and here on the show and talking to me for our listeners and our viewers about the global water crisis and all of the action items that Atlantium Technologies is utilizing and implementing in the marketplace. Thank you for spending some time here with us today.
Travis, thank you very much. It was a pleasure and very interesting for me.
And for all of you out there, I want to thank you for spending your time listening or watching. We very much appreciate it. We cannot wait to have you back next time here on the Water Online Show. Until then, we will see you soon.